Today's horoscope from Astrocademy, Aquarius, November 27, 2021. It could be very difficult for you to recognize that things are stable, when in fact the opposite is true. Perhaps out of fear, you have wanted to hide the obvious, that some things are not as good as it seems. With the moon in the regency, if you allowed yourself to recognize that you do not feel in the best way. So choose to be more aware and repair your own mistakes. Admit that you do not have the tools that suddenly allow you to do everything perfectly. It is human to be wrong. For this day, even though you have suddenly taken bad steps, I would illuminate the sextile between Mercury and Jupiter, so that everything goes in your favor without a doubt. It is a good day so that nobody stops you if you want to change. The competition may be good, but suddenly you would take personal matters that do not belong to you. Possibly your energy on this day feels completely drained, and with it, you would have everything at your disposal so that things can change in a good way. Today remember that you have the moon on your side so that this situation favors you. Today you could call on a friend because you have great difficulty in overcoming a planning problem. You need to reorganize your living space. Maybe you have a decorator buddy. He could give you the advice you need to make your project a success. You put your hand in the dough, and here you are, immersed all day in great works. A real construction site, with pizza and beer on the program. Your rising optimism is showing you the bright side of things and situations. There are celebrations ahead. Do not assume your strengths on impulses, measure your energy expenditure over the long term. No doubt now is the time for you to let go of your old fears and your usual fallback position. It is no longer the time to take a step back, but to dare, to be happy. Trust in the future, but above all in yourself. Sometimes it feels like you nurture your happiness from the happiness of others. Hence it is very difficult to separate your existence from that of your family. It is a form of osmosis. You could have learned a good lesson, so your health is more important than before. Now that you have had to go through not very pleasant situations, you choose to check your health constantly. In unison, good advice is likely to guide you towards your well-being. You regularly neglect to take care of your health and your body. Your balance suffers frequently. However, the time has come to consider a medical checkup out of conscience. Your taste for discovery, combined with a strong desire for knowledge, encourages you to spend a lot. So be sure to relax, take care of yourself, and avoid any violent exertion. As a seasoned athlete, you like to regularly practice several activities simultaneously. Nothing can stop you. Without any moderation, you have become a real adrenaline junkie. Passionate, you do not shy away from efforts to discover new disciplines. Besides, everyone admires your ability to want to test them. Moreover, you adapt in record time to the rules of the latter. A means of relaxation or appeasement, the sport has become your hobby horse. It seems that things change from one moment to another, and with that, you would have the assurance that you feel much more comfortable with your money. In other words, you could have done everything possible to save extra money and thus remain stable in times of crisis. Good citron quartz together with amethyst, wrapped in red sackcloth, could be a good luck charm. You who are often preoccupied with the affairs of others, your dedication will no doubt be appreciated today. And especially within your family, expect to take care of everyone's little problems, whether emotional or material. But don't forget your own needs today. You probably feel it, you have to take care of the future right now. If you wanted to make new business contacts and start financial negotiations, you will have the chance with you today. Be open and study all the possibilities available to you. Destiny smiles on you thanks to your rigor. You are ambitious, but for some time now you have had the impression that you are standing still. You start to wonder about a possible change of job. Without fear of love, today you could receive a pleasant surprise. Perhaps in the past tense, you were in love or excited about someone with whom nothing would happen. After a while, they meet again. So that things remain much more favorable than before. Above all, if you are aware that everything is on your side, with the transition from the signs from Aries to Taurus. Excellent day to meet interesting people, dear. But don't expect anything light. The characters you might meet today are certainly not going to be superficial. They are going to affect you strongly on an emotional level. But be careful not to be seduced by ideas alone. Your in-laws could cause some minor disagreements within your relationship. You might blame your partner for his family's interference in your personal affairs. Pay attention to the terms you can use or create an explosive situation. You will indeed undergo the incidences of Mars, which establishes an electric atmosphere whose consequences can prove to be unfortunate. Therefore, use restraint in presenting your point of view and avoid escalating the situation. Work could stop, not because things are in crisis, but because you unexpectedly have to rest. If that were the case, it is better that you have at your disposal some things that you had not contemplated. In other words, being cautious would be one of the best signs of understanding for yourself. The moon is favoring you, professionally speaking. You who are perhaps a specialist in daily adventure, you are going to love this day. Keep an eye out, because in your work or just going to the supermarket, you might find yourself in an unforeseen situation, maybe funny. It is in this kind of context that you love to meet interesting people. Those of today could have consequences that would imply your feelings. The pressure of Uranus in your sign requires a change of course. Basic anti-routine, you are always up and down because you are so passionate about what you do. But, have you ever thought about doing things for yourself and no one else? Stop thinking about other people all the time and allow yourself to think only about your best interests. In your case, it will never be qualified as selfishness, but a set of the record straight for the profiteers. Concerned about the education transmitted by your parents, you wanted to reproduce the same pattern for your children. However, times have changed and the method is not necessarily adapted. Moreover, at this moment, some small unforeseen events arise. While the eldest wishes to take flight from the family cocoon, the second begins his adolescence early. Do not panic. You can always relate to the values of your sign. For the love of your children, you are ready to take on all the clouds with a ton of courage.